Alright, so, you know how we've all been staring at the moon since like forever? Well, buckle up, space cadets, because we're about to blast off into some seriously cool lunar trivia that'll make you the star of your next stargazing party. I mean, who doesn't want to be that person, right? So, grab your space helmets and let's dive into 5 lunar facts every space fan should know. First up, let's talk about the moon's size. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, I can see it in the sky, it's pretty big. But here's the kicker. Our moon is actually the 5th largest in the entire solar system. I know, right? Mind-blowing stuff. It's like you think you know someone, or in this case, something, and then bam, they surprise you. It's kind of like that friend who suddenly reveals they can juggle flaming torches or something. Now, moving on to our second lunar tidbit. You know how we always see the same side of the moon? Well, turns out, the moon is totally playing favorites with Earth. It's what scientists call tidal locking. Basically, the moon rotates at the exact same rate it orbits Earth, so we always see the same face. It's like the moon is doing this elaborate dance move, always keeping one side turned towards us. Talk about commitment, am I right? Okay, so our third fact is going to make you question everything you thought you knew about the moon's color. Ready for this? The moon isn't actually gray. I know. It's like finding out Santa isn't real all over again. But hear me out. The moon's surface is actually a mix of light and dark areas. The lighter parts? They're highlands made of a rock called anorthosite. And get this, it's kind of whitish. The darker areas? Those are the lunar seas, or maria, and they're made of basalt, which is darker and more iron-rich. So it's more like a cookies and cream situation up there rather than just plain old gray. Alright, space fans, we're more than halfway through our lunar journey. Our fourth fact is going to make you appreciate Earth even more. You see, a day on the moon lasts about 29.5 Earth days. Can you imagine? That's like 2 weeks of daylight followed by 2 weeks of darkness. Talk about extreme day and night cycles. It's enough to make you grateful for our 24-hour days, even on Mondays. I mean, imagine trying to plan a lunar beach day. You'd need some serious sunscreen for those 2-week-long days. And now, drumroll please, for our 5th and final lunar fact. This one's a real doozy, so brace yourselves. The moon is moving away from us. Yeah, you heard that right. Our faithful celestial companion is slowly but surely backing away from Earth at a rate of about 1.5 inches, 3.8 centimeters per year. It's like the ultimate long-distance relationship. But don't worry, we're not going to lose sight of it anytime soon. At this rate, it'll take millions of years before we notice any real difference. Still, it's kind of bittersweet, isn't it? Like watching your kid go off to college or something. So there you have it, space enthusiasts. 5 mind-blowing facts about our lunar neighbor that'll make you the coolest cat at any cosmic cocktail party. But wait, there's more! Sorry, couldn't resist the infomercial vibes there. Let's dive a little deeper into some of these lunar lovelies, shall we? Remember how we talked about the moon being the 5th largest in our solar system? Well, let me put that into perspective for you. If Earth were the size of a nickel, the moon would be about as big as a coffee bean. Now, every time you're sipping your morning joe, you can think about the cosmic scale of things. It's like a daily dose of existential crisis with your caffeine hit. And speaking of size, let's chat about the moon's gravity. Because of its smaller size, the moon's gravity is about 1/6 of Earth's, which means if you weighed 180 pounds on Earth, you'd only weigh 30 pounds on the moon. Talk about the ultimate weight loss program. Imagine the moon infomercials. Lose 150 pounds instantly. No diet, no exercise, just one small step for man. Now, let's circle back to that whole tidal locking thing. You might be wondering, if we always see the same side of the moon, what's on the other side? Well, contrary to popular belief, it's not made of cheese, and there aren't any little green men having a permanent lunar luau. The far side of the moon actually looks pretty similar to the near side, just with more craters and fewer of those dark spots we call Maria. It's like the moon's introverted side. A bit rougher around the edges, but still part of the same celestial body we know and love. Oh, and here's a fun fact about those craters. The largest one, called the South Pole Aitken Basin, is a whopping 1,600 miles or 2,174 kilometers across. That's about the distance from New York City to Denver. Imagine driving that crater rim road trip. You'd need some serious snacks and a killer playlist. Now, I know we've been focusing a lot on the moon's physical features, but let's not forget about its cultural impact. I mean, this celestial rock has inspired everything from ancient myths to modern-day werewolf movies. It's been blamed for madness, hence the term lunatic, and credited for romance, just ask any songwriter. It's even influenced our language. Ever wonder why we call erratic behavior moody? Yep, you guessed it. It comes from the ever-changing phases of the moon. Speaking of phases, let's demystify those real quick. You know how sometimes the moon looks like a full circle and other times it's just a sliver? That's not the moon playing hide and seek. It's all about angles, baby. As the moon orbits Earth, the sun illuminates different parts of its surface from our viewpoint. It's like a month-long light show in the sky. And the best part? It's totally free. Take that, expensive concert tickets. And here's a little tidbit that'll blow your mind. Moonquakes are a thing. Yep, you heard that right. Just like Earth has earthquakes, the moon experiences its own seismic activity. They're usually not as strong as earthquakes, but they can last for quite a while due to the moon's rigid structure. It's like the moon is doing its own little dance up there. Moonwalk, anyone? Now, I know we've covered a lot of ground, or should I say, a lot of lunar surface, but there's one more thing I just have to mention. You know those iconic footprints left by Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin? Well, they're still up there, perfectly preserved. There's no wind or rain on the moon to wash them away. It's like the ultimate time capsule. Future lunar tourists will be able to see exactly where humanity took its first steps on another world. Talk about leaving your mark. So, there you have it, space fans. A cosmic crash course in lunar lore that's sure to make you the star of your next stargazing session. Remember, the next time you look up at that glowing orb in the night sky, you're not just seeing a moon. You're seeing a world of wonder, a testament to the vastness of our universe, and a reminder of humanity's greatest adventure. And who knows? Maybe one day, you'll be leaving your own footprints up there. Until then, keep looking up, stay curious, and never stop exploring the final frontier. Over and out, Moon Mavens!